Hello, and welcome to the Knitworthy podcast. My name is Brianne, also known as Being Brianne on Ravelry and Instagram, and this is episode number 87. Yay! Today is Tuesday, July 31st, and how are you doing? I am so glad that you're here. I think we're going to have a fun episode. I have lots to talk about today. I'm going to be announcing a prize winner at the end of this episode for being partway through our festival craft along that we're doing, and then I just have some things to talk about. So let's get to chatting. We've had family in town for the last week and a half. My father-in-law, Michael, he just left town yesterday, and before him we had my aunt and uncle and cousins in from California, and I tell you, we had so much fun, and it was great. We did all kinds of like family get-togethers like every single night, and Mike stayed with us here in our condo while he was in town. So that was definitely interesting. Ailish was very sweet, and she gave up her room so that Mike would have a nice comfy place to sleep. And it was just great having him. Early this year, he had a double bypass done on his heart. And so I think Brian was just really excited to have his dad in town to show him, you know, like where we live. And Mike had been here before for a day or two, but we just didn't get to spend very much time with him, and he stayed in a hotel. So having him here with us was definitely wonderful, and we really enjoyed being able to spend lots of time together. But, you know, as you know, having family in town also means that you're busy doing lots of things, and I just did not get much knitting time in. So I knitted on quite a few things, but I don't have a whole lot of progress to show for the most part, but that's okay. Also earlier this month, Brian got a promotion at work, excuse me, and so now he's the manager of his bank, which is amazing, and we're so super proud of him, and you know, he's excited. So I'm hoping that you know, he is able to make the positive changes that need to happen, and you know, get some people on that, you know, hire some people on that are good fits for the branch. So yeah, he's already made a big change, just, you know, him being the leader now, and yeah, good things are happening there. Also this week, last little bit of news, Ailish and Evan are at camp, and I hope they have such a good time. I dropped them off, and Evan has been just a bundle of nerve for the last week. Oh, my laundry is done. But he has just been a bundle of nerves for the last week, and, you know, we're standing in line, and before everybody came out to start greeting the campers and to do fun things with them before not registration, but the intake happened. He was so upset and just really having a really difficult time. And I don't want to leave you. Please don't make me go. And then the counselors came out, and they started playing music and dancing and doing really fun, silly things. And, you know, he started dancing. I think getting out some of that nervous energy really helped. But Ailish he was very stoic, very calm, and stood really close to me, and, you know, would put her arm around me, and we'd do hugs and kisses. And so I really am praying that it is such a good thing for them in every way. Every moment of it is just jam-packed with so much fun. And I don't know, I have mixed feelings. I just miss my kids, you know? So anyways, that's it. They're at camp. We pick them up on Friday. We dropped them off yesterday, which is Monday. We pick them up on Friday morning. And so it's not a terribly long camp, but still it's overnight, and I miss my kids. I love my kids, you know? Like, I enjoy being a mom, and so it's hard to have my little chicks gone from the nest, but I shall distract myself with knitting. Shall we talk about some knitting? I think we should. Okay, so the first thing that I've mostly spent most of my time on is my hand spun striped socks. So here is the first one, which I had already showed you last time. Looks like this. And I am now almost completely done with my gusset increases on the second sock. You can tell they look a lot different. On the first sock, I knitted from the inside out, and on the second sock, I decided to knit from the outside in. So I would just get some different colors in there. So it's getting smaller. Look at that. This is my hand spun sock yarn. It is a beautiful blend of colors from Walnut Farm Designs, I believe. They're on Etsy, and this is their rhubarb colorway. It's an 85-15 superwash merino nylon blend. I got about 500 yards of a 2-ply, which I realize is not going to be as sturdy as a 3-ply, but I have a lot of hand knit socks, and so they don't go through rotation terribly often, especially in the summer. I just wear them to work because they're nice and cushy. So yeah, so here is the second sock, and I'm just about to go into a beautiful, like, kind of purpley tone there. So I'm happy to see some new colors come in. What else have I been working on? This is my beautiful bag from Dina of Unwind Yarn Company. I love that bag. Also, I have been working on this new project, which is called Perfect Process by Susan Ashcroft. Yes. I started this out of my Dream in Color Classy in the My Fair Lady colorway, and let me see if I can find a picture of what this will look like. I started this after the last time I talked with you. There's really not any really good pictures. I just printed it out in black and white, so there aren't really any good pictures, but I can show you what I have done so far. Let's see, this is, let me find my right side and my wrong side. This is my right side. And you start over here. Sorry, move these out of the way. You start over here, okay, and you do your increases along this edge, and you're adding these sections here along this edge, and then when you get all of your sections, then you start doing a garter stitch on this edge, and you're doing your increases still over here. And I just think this is really fun. I think it's a gorgeous pattern too. I am really enjoying knitting on this. I haven't knitted on it since we've had family in town, just because it's required more brain space. It's not a difficult pattern at all. It's just I have to think a little bit. And honestly, excuse me, while family's been here, there just hasn't been much knitting at all, and that's okay. But especially on, you know, things that require any kind of thought, it just hasn't happened. As you can see, my two skeins of yarn, though they are the same colorway, since they're hand dyed, they are very different. You see that? And so I am alternating skeins just to make sure that I end up with an even look to my project. So I love this. I think that's going to make a really fun shawl. And what you do is you increase for 30% of your yarn. You go straight for 30% of your yarn without doing increases or decreases. And then with your last 30%, if your calculations are correct, you'll have a little bit of yarn left over, but you decrease for the last 30% of your yarn. So, you know, it's nice to know that, you know, as you're keeping track of where your yarn is, you know, that you're going to have enough yarn for everything so long as you've done your calculations correct. And that's nice. I don't like playing yarn chicken. I really stink at it in general. Another thing I've been knitting on, which I believe I showed this to you last time, is my Raina. This is a really beautiful pattern. It is a shawl like this. It's made to be a traditional triangular shawl. I am making it into an elongated shawl just because I like the way they fit me better. And so I'm doing increases every row on the outside edges and every other row in the middle. So that should give me the shape that I want. I love the colors. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? I really am enjoying knitting on this. This is, the yarn is Happy Feet 100 Splash, hand dyed, in the Tuscan Spice colorway. I am also alternating skeins on this project too, just because with me being hand dyed, I just don't think that you can be too careful. There is some color differences, as you can see. Just the speckling is a little bit different between the two. This one is a little bit more heavily speckled than this one. So, yeah, I really like this pattern. Who is this pattern by? Nura Livola, and it was looks like has been around since 2015. Beautiful pattern. Love the fact that it has you have the ability to check things off as you do them. That certainly makes it a lot easier. Oh, I forgot to put this back in the. Here we go. I'll just set that over there. I forgot my pattern. It helps to have a pattern, especially if you're doing a highly involved pattern project. So yeah, so that's my Raina, and it's specifically written to help you out with yarns that are really variegated, because then they don't pool, they don't you don't have flashing. That the pattern is specifically written to break those things up, which I think it's done a really good job. This, I have a speckled yarn, so it's not going to be quite as much of a problem, but I've really enjoyed working on it. And I cast on a new pair of socks to keep in my purse. So these are going to be Brianne's 2018 Christmas socks. This yarn is Cascade Yarns Heritage Prints. And this is color number 46. It looks like this. And it's working up to look like this. I think it's really fun. It's a beautiful color. You have the kind of olivey greens, the more like a pea green, a little bit of like a grayish green and some cream, and then a little bit of brown. And it's just really nice. I like those colors together. And, you know, it's subdued enough. It's definitely not boring though. And so I'm just doing my favorite Wendy D. Johnson toe-up with a gusset pattern. And, you know, that's my favorite pattern for toe-up socks at this point, for sure. That's what all of my toe-up socks have been lately. And it's just a really easy pattern to follow. And I did try and knit it when I was first knitting socks, you know, 15 years ago, and had a little bit of a hard time with the heel turn. But it's, now that I've knit a lot of socks, you know, it's definitely a lot easier. And it makes sense. It's just like knitting a regular heel flap. It's on a different part of the sock, you know, it's just easier. All right. Finished objects. I finished the watermelon socks. Last time I cut the yarn for this and started, you know, putting in, pulling out the yarn so I could put in my heel, and I am so glad that I added that extra inch. Oh boy, because let me tell you, I put the first finished sock on Ailish and it just barely fits. Oh my word. First of all, it's very tight. I did this on a 64 stitch sock, and it could barely get around her foot. Now it grew a little bit in the washing, but Ailish usually puts her socks through the washing machine and the dryer. And so I don't know how these are going to hold up, if they're going to continue to kind of shrink down a little bit. It is superwash yarn. It's a superwash nylon blend. And so it's the biscotti yarn out of Canada. I just hope that they still fit. I did block them on blockers to hopefully keep it, you know, give them a little bit extra room, but they just fit her feet, and you know, I had to help her get them on and off. So I think next time I make her socks, I'll definitely make a sock with a 72 stitch count, and you know, I'll just have to be careful. Last time I saw, she was wearing a size 8 shoe, like women's 8. She's comes up to here on me now, and I am 5'6", so she's going to be tall and have big feet like her mama, I think. So yeah, but these are so pretty, and I can't wait till she gets back so I can try them on her and put them in her sock drawer. So yeah, that's that. Definitely love these socks. This yarn was given to me by my friend Michelle, and the contrasting heel and toe yarn was given to me by Laurette, who just happened to think that I needed some, and she was so right. It just made it, I think it makes it look really nice. Gilding the Lily. So earlier this year, I talked about not wanting to increase my stash, and that is all well and good, and I'm still trying to be definitely more mindful about my purchases. However, sometimes you come across things in this world and on Etsy that you just look at and you go, well, that just has to be mine. So I found a new to me dyer who is the Yarn Lab UK out of well, the UK, and she's the Yarn Lab UK at Etsy. That's her card. So cute. And Lana has beautiful sense of colors. Beautiful. And she does a lot of Harry Potter themed yarns, which I love, of course, because we have a great love of Harry Potter in this house. But look at this. Look at that. Are these not just gorgeous? Let me bring this over a little bit this way so you can see. And see over here. Ta-da. Yes. So this is her DK weight. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. It's 225 meters, however much that is in yards. And this is her colorway called the Castle. And it has just the slightest bit of cream, but mostly it's this beautiful, hold it up so you can actually see. It's this beautiful kind of brownish color, and this, I don't know if it's mauve or mauve, however you'd like to say that, kind of speckly areas. That color is really not very good. I'm so sorry. It's been kind of gloomy around here lately, and so I have the lights on. But it's just gorgeous, and I am so thrilled with what I received. I also ordered this mini set. This is Harry Potter set 1, and in it says Ginny's Gown, Beaubaton Girls, Educational Decree number 29, Pinky, and Dumbledore's PJs. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon twist blend, and I I mean, come on now. I'm going to take this out because I really want you to see the colors really well. Sorry for the crinkling. Okay. So, I don't know which color is which, but here, let's look at this. Just beautiful, kind of like turquoisey blue with little bits of black. You see that right there? See that little bit of black right there? This one is a really fun, it reminds me of like an ice cream kind of color, you know, with like the orange and a little bit of yellow and blue and green. That would be a really fun like ice cream, like a confetti kind of cake or something like that. This is purples with pink and speckles of black, but not like really heavily speckled, but just speckled enough to make it interesting. This has like a golden yellow and some little purpley areas and gray. And this is another kind of purplish pink, but this one has like some brown, or not brown, purple speckles. But you can see it's different than this one. It has different color qualities to it. So I had sent her a message and said, I love your colors. I think it's really beautiful. And Lana sent me this. She said, hi, Brianne. Thank you so much for your order. I will put your calendar in October. Post your calendar in October. I bought an advent calendar of minis. I'm so excited. Sorry. I forgot to tell you about that. I have sent a set of minis for a podcast prize. So I have a set of minis for you guys too. And I'm going to give these away. I think, look at these. Aren't those beautiful? This is the I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside colorway. It's these are 20-gram mini skeins. There are 5 of them, so that's 100 grams. It's a 75-25% superwash merino nylon blend. And let me hold these this way so you can see a little bit better. I think I'm going to do this on YouTube as a giveaway for my friends on YouTube. So I will give you some ideas about when we're gonna do that. I think I'll probably do it next time since I have a giveaway to talk about this time. But thank you so much, Lana, for that. Her order also came with a little candy and some tea, some salted caramel tea, and then a really cute little star stitch marker. Can you see that right there? It's right over here. I may have placed another order with her for another skein of yarn and some minis. I may have a problem. I just love her colors. They are so beautiful. So go take a look. Etsy, the Yarn Lab UK at Etsy.com. It took, I'm in Branson, Missouri, and it took about a week to 10 days to get my order in. So, you know, if you live on either coast, it may take a little bit less or a little bit more time. However, totally worth it. Such a fun thing to receive in the mail. And I appreciate her support of the podcast. That's really sweet. So, yes, there you go. There's that. Let's talk about the festival craft along. We are doing a craft along about yarn and craft festivals. Okay, so I went to DFW Fiber Fest in Texas a few months ago and had such a fun time and saw so many fun projects and got to take my own projects to share and to show off and had such an amazing time there. And it got me thinking about all these other fiber festivals that people go to. And I wanted to do a imaginary fiber festival, you know, because there are a lot of people that don't have one near them or don't have the ability to travel to one. And if you were to go, what would you wear? Like, you don't have to actually be going if you can't make it, but if you could, what would you wear? What would you craft? So a lot of people knit socks. We've seen sweaters, we've seen hats, we've seen cute little baby things, because babies gotta look cute too. One person did stitch markers to hand out to trade with other people. I'm trying to think of what else. Shawls, all kinds of things. So I did a random number generator, and because I wanted to give a prize for the people who have been participating so far. And when I pick in September, I'll do through all of the entries. So not just from today on, but through all the entries. So you still have another chance to win. Let me talk about the contest rules. You can do more than one project. You can do as many projects as you want. Use a separate post for each project so you can get your entries in for those things. And you can do works in progress. If you have a sweater that you've been knitting on since 2007, please feel free to finish it and enter it in. You just need to be a member of the Ravelry group to win, and I'll be picking prize winners by random number generator. So I pulled from my own stash a couple of things that I thought, a lot of really big things happen, or like festivals happen in the fall. I'm thinking about like Rhinebeck and different things like that happen in the fall. And so I wanted like some fall-y color. So look at this. I got these. These are both from Dream in Color. This one is a beautiful apple crisp colorway. Isn't that so pretty? It's a singles yarn, and it is just really gorgeous. And then this one is called October, and I think they are just gorgeous. So this, the winner that I picked was number 24, and that's Phoenix Anew, who knit a pair of socks. Phoenix Anew, congratulations. Contact me on Ravelry and give me your address, and I would be happy to send these in the mail to you. Congratulations! Hooray, hooray! The big prize, not that that isn't a big prize, but the big prize, the grand prize, is this set of mini skeins, this gradient kit from the 100th Sheep. This is her Color Concepts Highlands Moor, and this is a superwash merino Tessa silk blend, 80/20, and this is beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful kit that Peggy gave me to give away on the podcast, and we're so thankful for her too, for supporting us and for donating a prize. So look at that. If you would like to win this, all you have to do is enter in to the contest. I will be closing the contest on September 30th, and then the next time I podcast, I will be announcing a prize winner. So there's that. I just have one more thing to talk about for Bless Your Heart. So I don't know, it's been in the news, but what is it? Almost 2 weeks ago, we had some tragedy here in Branson, Missouri, where I live, and about 20 minutes from my house, there was a duck boat that was doing a tour of the lake, of Table Rock Lake, and a storm swept through, gusts up to 100 miles an hour. It was just insane, and it was a very short storm. It lasted about 20 minutes, but a duck boat capsized and 17 lives were lost, and it's been very difficult on our community, just because that's a big thing to happen, and Branson is a very small town. It's a town of about 10,000 people, but we get about 1 million tourists every year. And, we try to take care of our tourists, and this was a time when, something happened, and, there's a lot of blame being thrown around and a lot of just a lot of sadness, and it's been very difficult. There was a family of 11 and 9 of them perished. That's been very, very hard, to come to grips with too. And we've been praying for these families and trying to help as much as we can with taking care of things. And there's been a lot of money raised for the families, but our pastor, the Sunday after it happened, talked about mourning with those who mourn. And in the Bible, it says, rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. That's in Romans 12:15. And, I try to be really uplifting on the podcast, but, sometimes things happen, and, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to mourn with those who are mourning. And it looks different for everybody. You can't judge one person's grief compared to another person's, or, say that you're doing it the wrong way. But, sometimes, the best thing that you can do for people who are going through a difficult time is just to be there for them. And you don't have to have amazing words to say to people that are going through difficult times. You just be there for them, And so the Bible also says, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted, Matthew 5:4. As a church, we need to be comforting people who are going through things, and, going through things with them, and, not just stepping aside because it's uncomfortable, but, to walk through it with them and to be a comfort to other people. And, I think the Lord also gives comfort, of course, to people who are struggling. And so just really, if you are going through something difficult, I'm praying for you. And if you have lost someone or have experienced some sort of loss, I would love to pray for you. So, get a hold of me on Ravelry, or, email me at knitworthypodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to chat with you and to be there for you in any way that I can. So, it's hard going through things. When my son was going through cancer, a lot of people didn't know what to say to us, and that's okay. It can be uncomfortable. However, we had a lot of people just come up and hug us and say, I'm so sorry. And that meant a lot, to know that, that they were supporting us in that way. So anyways, I like the verse at the first verse, though, who says, rejoice with those who rejoice, because, even in mourning, there can be times of laughter and, remembrance, and remembering things and people that we love, and, the good times, and, that's all a part of it too. And so, we rejoice together as well as mourn, don't we? That is what I have for you today. So, I really enjoyed our time together. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope that you all have a really wonderful day. I pray that that you are enjoying your summer. We have 15 days until the first day of school. Hard to believe. And yeah, so we have exciting things coming up. My kids are super excited to go back to school. So it's going to be good. My goodness. I don't know what to say. I feel really blessed right now. So anyways, you guys, I will talk to you later. Talk to you soon. But until then, remember that you are knitworthy. I'll see you later. Bye, friends.